You're with us here on BTTV Markets today. Oh my God, what a nosedive. Down about 700 points on the Sensex. Nifty at about 17,400. We'll pull that up for you. It's not looking so great. And remember, this is on the back of yesterday's slump as well. So that's 2% down now in 2 days. Sensex now much closer to 59,000 and Nifty hovering around that 17,400 mark. Well, it's really bleeding on the screens today, and it's the market favorites, the financials that are actually the top losers today. Take a look at the biggest cuts. IndusInd Bank, SBI, HDFC Bank, whole host of those private sector names. Adani Enterprise is not holding out today either, so adding to the gloom and doom, 2.5% on that one. Apollo Hospitals, so some of those names also on the losers list today. The HDFC Twins. So it's it's really not looking too pleasant. Let me welcome Avinash who's joining us on the show today. Avinash, it's 2 sessions in a row, and today in particular, the brunt is clearly on the financials. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I think good afternoon, Ava. My sense is, I think this seems to be an overreaction in the Indian markets following yesterday's fall. In the US markets, we saw all round selling on the indices there, largely triggered by bankruptcy fears of 2 banks there. One bank which caters largely to the crypto trader community, and one bank which basically finances startups and VC kind of investments. What the market is really speculating is that possibly there could be many more banks which could possibly be victim of higher interest rates going forward. Already the Fed governor has sounded hawkish on the 22nd of this month. We would be knowing what kind of rate hike comes in. The market is now getting geared up for a 50 basis hike, which looks very much possible. And I think that has, this event which happened yesterday has added fuel to the fire. Coming to the Indian markets, Abha, I think it is an overreaction. My sense is that Indian banks are very well positioned. They have the best asset quality in the last 10 to 15 years. And I think credit growth continues to be strong at a 15%. So I think, investors should look at this opportunity as a kind of a blessing in disguise. If they have the capital and some money to nimble, I think it would not be a wrong idea to actually nimble into good quality private sector banks as well as PSU banks, which today have been, battered down very badly.
Okay, so would you be actually going out and picking up anything on these lower levels on a down day like today, Avinash, in the financial pack?
Yeah, I think from a portfolio perspective, I think such kind of falls are always going to add that alpha to you, provided your time horizon is slightly longer term. In the private banking space, we like ICICI Bank, we like Axis Bank, we also like PSU banks like SBI, Canara Bank. I think today, you're getting stocks at levels which probably you have not dreamt of. These kind of levels were unheard, at least for the, at least in the near term. My sense is these are, banks which have got very solid balance sheets, both catering to the retail as well as to the corporate loan book. And most importantly, with credit growth of 14-15%, my sense is the March quarter is, going to be another strong quarter like the December quarter. And even FY24, we could see a lot of outperformance, considering that now the flavor is infrastructure. And wherever infrastructure spending comes in, these banks are going to play a very important role. So I think there's no need to panic. 3-4 banks, if one were to accumulate, I would believe in the next 6 to 12 months, one could see a decent outperformance from these levels.
Okay, so really don't panic. What about the overall market direction? Because, down almost 2% in just 2 sessions. We're looking like we're heading towards the 59,000 mark. What are the chances of cracking that? What are you tracking on the lower side?
Yeah, I think on the index side, if you look at the Nifty, I think the last support now for the Nifty is 17,200. This is a make or do kind of level for the market, and I believe the markets have definitely shown a lot of resistance on the upper side. So I think on the upside there's going to be a lot of resistance. There's going to be selling pressure on every rise. And I think the key reason for this is that liquidity, from the FIs has not kept up to the, expectation what the markets had. A lot of FI selling has happened. And I think the markets would now be very jittery, very volatile, at least ahead of the Fed meeting. Once the Fed meeting is over, possibly you could see the markets again getting into a little stable kind of situation. So until then, I think we have to closely watch levels of 17,200 for the Nifty. And on the upside, I think 17,650, 700 are resistance points. So I think until that happens, we are going to see a very volatile market. So on the market side, on the index side, I would be a little wary and a little cautious. I think we could see lower levels if possibly, the Fed meeting, apart from the rate hike, sounds more hawkish and gives a little more concern on the inflation number. So I think till then it's better to wait and watch.
Okay, so still in wait and watch mode. I guess that's the biggest fear right now, isn't it, Avinash? No one really has a clue as to which way this is going to go, and there's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, we touched upon the crypto rules also coming out yesterday, and that also led to some amount of nervousness, uncertainty, and just leading to unsettling kind of sentiment in the market right now. Let's take a look at what are some of the other stories today in terms of action, even in the broader markets. Let me pull up some of those movers for you as well, just to get a sense of what's happening. Of course, we're taking a hit on the broader markets too this afternoon, and it's financials all the way. We've got the mid caps down 0.7%, BSE 500 down 0.8% right now. And if I take a look at some of the losers, let's pull up some of those for you on your screen. We've got Tata Tele, Sonata Software, Canara Bank, Bank of India, Shilpa Medicare, some of the names on that side. Metropolis is down 2-3% today, for example. Adani names, we mentioned Union Bank, Karur Vysya, so the hit on financials continues there. India Cement, Sundaram Fasteners, Bank of Baroda. We've got M&M Financial Services, IndusInd Bank. So heavyweights, mid caps, broader markets, Manappuram Finance down by 2% today. So it's really across the board as we can see it right now. Avinash, what would you actually, suggest in terms of, just earlier this week we were talking about value buying, whether it comes to pockets like metals, for instance, even in the broader markets, perhaps some value emerging in select stocks. Would you apply any of that right now, or as you just said, just wait and see how markets stabilize over the next few sessions, or until we have the next trigger, perhaps from earnings?
No, I think markets on an index level, ABA would definitely show a lot of volatility and uncertainty. But on a stock specific basis, I think pockets of opportunity could come in, from sectors like automotive, auto components, cement, capital goods. I believe that this is a good opportunity for investors who have actually not participated earlier. For example, in the capital goods pack, we believe that companies like Larsen and Toubro, Cummins, typically from the automotive space, something like a Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra. These are pockets of opportunity. If you do get a fall, my sense is that this could be a good buying opportunity. But yes, I think the time frame, Ava, has to be reasonably long term, because the broader market continues to be little weakly positioned. So I think you got to build your positions, your portfolio positions in this kind of market to ensure that you get a better alpha over a slightly medium term, kind of long term time frame. So there are pockets of opportunities which I think brave investors and contra investors should definitely utilize.
Okay, what about real estate, Avinash? Does that also figure on your radar? Because a couple of conflicting factors there when it comes to the real estate bag.
Yeah, I think real estate, I would believe that, maybe you need to wait for some more time, because, rising interest rates have started impacting EMIs, and especially in the affordable housing segment. Overall, there have been no pain points for the real estate sector as of now. We have been talking to various real estate companies, and I think the indications are that inventories are still, selling pretty well. The interest rate hikes have not impacted demand. But if the interest rate cycle continues for another, say, 1 or 2 quarters, then I think it could be a little painful for the real estate players, because obviously if AMIs go up, then buying decisions, for new properties would obviously slow down. So I would believe it's better to wait and watch for some more time here. Probably, maybe if the market corrects further and you get good, picks from the real estate sector, something like a Oberoi Realty or a DLF, or typically a Loda developer. I think these are all promising companies, but I think not at the current odd levels.
Okay, fair enough. But what do you make of the whole consumption theme, Avinash? We're heading into summer. We've all been talking about how demand is intact and India is a booming story. No one's too concerned about the inflationary environment. So is consumption going to play out this year or not?
Yeah, I think our consumption is definitely going to play out, but there is one caveat to this. All of us have heard about the El Nino factor, and if the El Nino factor definitely comes in, it's going to increase food prices significantly, because if food production is curtailed, that means again inflation from the food basket would go up. and to that extent, that would obviously impact consumption levels. So I think probably in the month of April end or May end, we'll get conclusive, data points to ensure that whether the El Nino comes in or not. Although, the market is already discounting this fact partly, I believe that post April, May, once this factor is, understood properly by the market, then I think there could be a better rally in consumption names. But overall, I think consumption names would definitely rally because we have seen a lot of, under performance from the rural segment. Gradually, rural demand is picking up. So to that extent, companies like Dabur, Hindustan Lever, Godrej Consumer Products, I think probably any weakness should be used to buy.
Okay. All right. So continue to buy. Avinash, tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, how hassled are you with this fall that we're seeing in financials today? I know when we started chatting, you looked completely flabbergasted by how the market was reacting to the news and how it was slightly unwarranted. Do you feel we're going to see, if fundamentals are so well intact, do you feel we're going to see some amount of clawback coming in by Monday, Tuesday?
I think my guess is Monday, Tuesday would be a little early, but definitely as we end the month of March, I think when the fourth quarter numbers are going to be out, I think you're going to see a lot of re-rating and a lot of buying coming in the banking and the NBFC names. And I think, yes, you're right. I think clients are worried in the near term, with this kind of horrendous fall in the markets. Everybody is worried that whether this fall could continue further. Now, this is something which is very difficult to, define or to predict. But my sense is that at some point of time, value will emerge, and the markets are not going to go down irrationally. Some event happened in US. We saw an event, of that, the reaction of that today. Hopefully, I don't think by Tuesday, Wednesday, the same event would impact the markets again, because markets don't react on older news. So I think we should see a good amount of bounce back maybe from Wednesday or Thursday, and I think markets should start discounting the fourth quarter numbers sooner or later, and that I think is going to bring a lot of optimism. So I think it's not the end of the road. Yes, in the near term, this kind of volatility in the market is going to continue. I would not be surprised that, the retail investors would obviously have to take their bets in a very measured and in a very calculated way. Only then they can make money in the longer term.
Fantastic. Avinash, thanks so much for joining us today. It's not looking like a great day for trade. It's not been looking like a great week. Particularly if you combine the losses between yesterday and today. Markets still clearly nervous, still unsettled, post the Adani fiasco, and now on the back of any kind of negative news at all, there seems to be an instant shake-up. So heading towards the 59,000 mark on the Sensex, Nifty also down over 1% today, close to 200 points, not looking pretty at all. And like Avinash said, it may still take a while before we start to see some stability return. That's all from us for now. Thanks for watching.
I would definitely say that the golden years of Indian golf are ahead. Playing golf and being on the golf course, that's the best gift. And signing a business deal on the golf course, nothing better than that. It's one platform where you get to socialize, where you get to do your business networking. And if I'm an amateur, I would love to be a part of it. And that is one area where you get to meet other people from the other sectors, and it helps you basically grow your business. I would like to request everybody to be a part of it, and hopefully your business grows one day. And I think what Business Today has been doing with golf is phenomenal. They have been supporting pro golf, they have supported a lot of corporate golf in the past. And I think, we definitely need more corporate houses like BT, and, hopefully they step up their sponsorship and, come and try and support all the pro golfers one day.
Holi celebrations at the Ola Giga factory, a video shared by the company founder and CEO Bhavish Agarwal. Agarwal also uploaded this video, his own take on his future factory bots, joining in on the Holi fun. Meanwhile, this poll also appeared on his Twitter feed with the question, "What's the biggest barrier for you to buy an EV?" The response was huge with around 19,000 votes. The biggest hurdle, it seems, is the lack of charging infrastructure, with more than 30% of the respondents choosing this as the number one reason. The higher cost of EVs is the second reason. There also seems to be considerable apprehension among customers whether the EV battery will last 5 years. Around 80% of the respondents had range anxiety, a fear that the battery would give out during a trip. The poll triggered more than 500 responses, with people quick to share their suggestions. Customers from as far as Chhattisgarh were inquiring